Many of you wrote to me in the last 24 hours with video clips from Ron DeSantis events, and every single one of you wrote to me for the same reason. You feel that these protesters that are popping up at DeSantis events are staged, that there's something about them that doesn't take place. And then I got a video of a woman saying that she's in tears. Why are they always crying? In tears over how great DeSantis is, even though she was a Trump supporter for a while. We're going to look at these clips. Now, I want to be crystal clear. I am not alleging that I know these are staged protesters or staged people in the crowd. There is reason to wonder because, number one, these protesters always lead to DeSantis saying the same thing about we're going to protect kids and we're not going to let you do whatever to kids. The former Trump supporter person is weird because the Trump supporters don't really care about DeSantis. DeSantis is dying. His campaign is crumbling. They fired a dozen staffers, and we'll talk about it later. So the idea that all of these Trump supporters are just so overcome with emotion about how great DeSantis is that they feel the need to go and to tell him at his events how great he is, none of it seems super genuine. And it certainly could be staged and planted, and we know that campaigns sometimes do this. Now, we're going to look at the clips. One other quick little thing. Yesterday, someone wrote me about Ron DeSantis. I don't know whether this was a typo or whether they were joking around and this is their new nickname for Ron DeSantis. They wrote Ron DeSantis, and when I saw it, I just started laughing. I have no idea whether it was just a typo or whether they want the guy to go by DeSantis. It seems maybe misogynistic, so I don't know that we're going to go with it, but I did have a little laugh to myself yesterday. All right, so let's go to the video. Here is another one of these solo protesters. DeSantis always yells at them with the same line about we're going to protect kids. We're going to protect kids. You tell me whether this feels authentic. Remember, there is there's an actor's strike right now. So really, these should not be actors.
I have something to say to him. Why don't you focus on spending more time with your granddaughter in Arkansas, or at least acknowledge she
All right, so now the protester is standing up behind DeSantis. Security's rushing over.
exists.
Yeah.
Before you worry about our children. And they shouldn't be worrying about our children either. We don't want you indoctrinating our children. Leave our kids alone.
Okay, so he yells at the protester to leave their kids alone. This is very similar to the lone protester last month in South Carolina. And again, even DeSantis's reaction seems so forced and staged. So I get it. We don't know that that's what's going on, but it's interesting that so many of you felt that it was.
We're not going to let you impose an agenda on our kids. We're going to stand up for our kids. We're going to make sure to do it right. That's what we're going to do. Yeah.
There you go. So whenever the lone protester stands up, DeSantis tells him, we're not going to let you get our kids. We're not going to let you ruin our kids. Here's another video. This is from the event yesterday. And here is where a woman that she says she's been a hardcore Trump supporter. She stood up and said DeSantis is doing great. And she's almost she's almost in tears. Listen to this. Tell me if this is authentic.
My love for President Trump comes from all the despair, all the things that he's been through, has served as our president of the United States, and he did a good job. But all the things, I'm thinking more with my heart and my sorrow and my love for him and for this country. But now this is the most important vote that we're going to have, and I have to think more with my mind and what's best for this country. And you didn't.
She is overcome with emotion over her support for DeSantis, despite having voted for Trump with her heart. She's now using her mind to vote for DeSanctimonious.
Excellent job, and I certainly.
Wow, God bless. Wow. Really powerful.
And I appreciate that. And I agree with you. I appreciate what President Trump did.
How they treated him with things like Russia collusion was a
So unfairly.
disgrace. And he was treated wrong.
Yeah.
He was treated in ways that were unconstitutional.
Right.
But here's the thing. The question for us now is what are we going to do about it? And we need to end the weaponization of government.
All right. Anyway, Ron. Okay. Very good.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
They indicted me. I would love for some journalist to follow up with some of these folks after the fact and actually figure out, like, what is their backstory? Are they real? Are they there doing these staged different little things? So everybody can judge it for themselves. I don't really know. What I think here's something that is important to keep in mind. For many of us, because of the way we engage in politics, many of us don't idolize these elected officials. They're just people. And I've met so many of them and sat around with them. They are really just people. And most of them are not insanely impressive. You know, people like Barack Obama are sort of different in that sense. Incredibly impressive from in person in a way that is different. Most of you just meet, you're like, oh, wow, they're kind of weird in a lot of ways. Anyway, for a lot of us, it's hard to imagine being overcome with emotion in this way, just because you're like, oh, I voted for Trump, but DeSantis was so inspiring. We're like, no, it's just like, okay, is Biden better than Trump? Okay, I'll vote for Biden and then I'll go on with my life and I don't idolize the guy. So we are at our nature less likely to find this sort of thing authentic. And so it feels staged. But let's be open to the possibility that for people who are much more cultist in nature, they really may be overcome with emotion in this way and maybe it is legitimate. I don't know. I will leave it for you to judge. We're going to take the quickest of quick breaks. We breached 1.8 million subscribers on YouTube. We're pushing to 1.9 to eventually burst through the door, the glass ceiling of 2 million. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. We're going to take a quick break and then the show continues. Staying properly nourished is just so important to feeling your best every day. Our sponsor, AG1, makes it so simple. Just a single scoop of AG1 a day. You get 75 high-quality vitamins and probiotics from whole food sources. You're covered for the day. Half of Americans are deficient in vitamins A and C and magnesium. Not everybody has time to perfectly plan every meal. And I don't know that any of us want to be spending a whole bunch of money on endless different vitamins and supplements. AG1 just simplifies it and it's more cost effective. I take a single scoop of AG1 in the morning before my coffee. Tastes great with water, but you can mix it, quite frankly, into anything you want. With that one scoop, I'm covered for the day, getting everything I want. It's easy and it's a simple routine that works. Go to drinkag1.com/Pacman to get 5 free travel packs of AG1 plus a free 1-year supply of vitamin D. The link is down below.